Hello YouTube, this is Frank, and this is May the 31st, 2025, and this is my 95th video and my first Awk video, and the topic is merge or join CSV files, comma separated variable files. I've got an intro, check for duplicate keys, and then we'll write a Awk program to merge two CSV files. Now the keys, they can be numbers or dates. The keys do have to be unique, but they do not have to be in sorted order. So let me show you what I got, and I'll take my board down. Let's see now. Disclosure, I have no financial, employment, personal, or family relationship with any brand or product. I've purchased products that appear in my videos with my money. I'm retired. I just putter around with networking, computers, and software. There are no AI-generated images or text in my videos, but I did copy and paste an AI Python program from my Google. And comma separated, let's see, part one, simple data checks. Part two, merge some CSV files, and then we'll cascade merge 6 CSV files, and then we'll run an Awk program to merge some crony data files with a date, kind of a text key. Awk is my favorite little language. Why Awk? We'll use the same program, the same Awk program to merge those numeric keys and those date keys. And we can merge multiple files with Awk. And we can, when we get our Awk program working, we can put it in a cron job and update those merged files on a schedule. We can add data checks, and it's a springboard into Lex and Yak. There's Lex and Yak. I used Lex and Yak for about 20 years to do data validation on data coming off those instruments at work. Let's see now. Let me tell you what I've got in this, the interfaces, languages, and commands that I use in this video. LibreOffice, dygraphs, HTML, JavaScript, Microsoft Windows, that's this here. Microsoft Windows command line interface, the Linux command line interface, Python 3, Awk, sort, seed. And let me scroll this down, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Dygraphs. If you don't know if you haven't seen dygraphs, this is what I'm talking about here. Dygraphs. That's what I use. Let me get back here now. Python. This is that AI script that I was talking about. Now, I am not a lawyer, but as far as I know, those AI generated scripts are public domain. Copyright is for humans. So let me show you what I'm talking about right here. There's the U.S. Copyright Office, and if you go over there to their policy statement for AI generated works, and you kind of scroll down to section 2. Let's see now, section 2. Yeah. So you get you got to be a human to get a copyright. So I believe all those AI generated scripts are public domain. Now I'm not a lawyer. I'm just that's kind of the way I read that. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you go to Google and I search for Python, the course request handler, and what I'm talking about is that cross origin resource sharing, and see AI overview right there. And if you kind of scroll down a little bit, they've got an AI generated little program right here for a request handler for those cross origin requests. And I just copy and pasted this over there into my computer over there. And so let me show you what that is right here. So here it is right here. That right there. That's that little script that I got. Let me just kind of I'll just cat it. See right here, it's public domain. I just copy and pasted it, and that's how you run it right there on these. And this is a Libra computer I've got on my network, and to run it, it's Python 3, and I'm serving on port 8080 right there. So let me get back to my notes. That's what I'm talking about with that AI script. Awk. Let me just. I think I've got a web page for Awk. The Wikipedia has a nice page. Now, when I can, I like to use the one true Awk on GitHub. That's from the original author of Awk. There's there. Oh, there's. I think I've got a book. Yeah. So here's the book right here. And I think they've got a second edition. I've got the second edition around here somewhere, but that's what I said. The original author, he's got that on GitHub. If you wanted to get the original source code, and let's see. Let me get back to my notes. Sort. Yeah, this is that command that I'll be using. Sort. That's in Wikipedia. The sort command, and I may not get to see it, but I just kind of wanted to bring that to your attention. If you see it mentioned in my notes right here. Let's see now. Yeah, now if you have a problem that kind of looks too complicated in a spreadsheet, Awk may have a simple solution. Now I like Awk. It has a low barrier. It's an easy language for me to pick it up. It's very useful for routine data processing. Now in a spreadsheet though, it's intuitive, but they're widely available. Now I have merged data sets with R. Now to me R is harder, but it does have advanced statistics in there. I've used it. I often use it to do my data checks before I import those CSV files into spreadsheet or R. And in my experience with spreadsheets, it's fine for small data sets, but once you start getting into those larger data sets, I prefer using Awk or some other method. There are numerous methods. So we're going to use Awk to merge or join some CSV data files. We'll join a few of them and sort them. And this is what I'm talking about. I've got some of these CSV files, file 1, file 2. See, I've got a date, a null field right here, and then a heading, a column heading for my data. And then here's file 2. See, kind of the same thing. My column headings and my data right here. And there's a null column right there. I just put in a null column just to make sure I'm doing my merging correctly. And so when we have a merge, when I want to merge these things, so look at this, these keys right here. These are unique for file 1, and these keys are unique for file 2. And see, the common one we have is this bottom one right here, this bottom key. See that one right there? And so when we have a common key, I want that value here. and then I want to kind of copy it and paste that value from file 2 over here on past, so I'll have all my columns lined up right here. So there's test 1. There, all the values there will be test 1, and for test 2, they would be out here. So you can see I've got nulls. So after that test 1 there, those will be nulls for column 2 or for test 2 data. Same thing. See, these right here, those are null values there for test 1. And so that's what I want to do. And same thing. So with Crony, they use dates, and same thing. So if I've got, let me move this down. So I've got a date and a column heading, and my date and my column heading for file 2, and I just want to merge those. I want to keep my primary key, and if there's any common keys for these files, see that one right there, that one and that one are common keys. I want to put my key right here for file 1 and file 2 right here. And otherwise, if they're missing, I want to have a null value. See right here for file 1, those values and those keys are not. There's some keys in file 1, and some keys are unique in file 2, and there's only one common key. And so and I want to keep my column headings, over my values. But that's what I want to do. And just kind of to show you what I got. I've got a residential fiber, 1 gigabit coming in, 100 megabit up. Did I do that? I got these reversed. It should be 1 gigabit down, 100 megabit up. And I got a router. The fiber comes into a router, and I'm here in my TV room, and I've got a PC. This is what I'm working on right now, and all of these routers and switches and things that I've networked, they're consumer grade. And I've got in my workroom, I've got a couple of switches over there, and I've got here's my single board computers over there, and I've got I've got about a dozen of those GPS hooked to a single board computers, and I'm kind of collecting my data. And and I do have a pulse per second GPS over there. So I got 2 of those, and I want to merge those 2 files. Let's see now. All uses associative arrays, and that's really handy to merge or join on a key field. There's a join function in that in the Awk book right here. If you look on that page 104, it assumes that the data is the keys are in sorted order, and the program keeps those keys in sorted order. But now we are not going to use that program. We're going to use Frank's program. It does not require those keys to be in sorted order, but we do need no duplicate keys. I do want to say that's something we cannot have. Those keys have to be unique. Now after we do a merge, we can sort those files, and there's a sort command right there. And if we want to, we can use sed to delete some null fields. Yeah, I've been puttering around with those GPS and time servers for several months. NTP Secure, they use a modified Julian day, so that's good, numeric And Crony uses the ISO format, and I think I've got a. Let me show you. I've got a page for that ISO format. That's what Crony uses in their key date field. Let me get back to my notes right here. Yeah, so we'll start with. I mostly use dygraphs and LibreOffice spreadsheet. Now let me show you what I got when I'm talking about. Let me show you that. So I got these. Let me show you. I've got these the digraphs of those 6 files that I want to merge into one file. And let me just show you what I'm talking about right here. See, I've got these plots. There's test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, and test 6. And so what I want to do is put all of those 6 into one graph. And same over here with my pulse per second GPS things. I've got my Adafruit GPS, and then I've got that VFan. But kind of look here on the bottom of the date. That's that ISO date right there, and these are numeric down here on these other files. So let me get back to my notes. And I often use spreadsheets, but let me just show you. I mean, it's. Let me scroll down just a hair right here. I'm going to just show you what those files look like in a spreadsheet. Oops. I think it's this one right here. Comma separated variables. That's file 1. That's what it looks like. Now, let me just go down to the bottom. See right here, that's 43,200 observations in that file. So, I mean, it's like, I really don't want to look at that by hand. Let me show you file 2 while I'm here. So if I wanted to merge these 2 files, these comma separated files, see right here, let me go down to the bottom. So that's 43,200 values right there, observations. And I don't want to, I'm not that good in spreadsheets to know how to do that. I need to feel comfortable doing that. So I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to close my spreadsheets. But that's what I'm talking about is, I'm just not a spreadsheet wizard, and I'm really not motivated to learn how to do that. But I do want to, let's see, I do use spreadsheets all the time. Let me see now. Let's write our first program, Awk. We'll just check for duplicate primary keys, and I just want to bring this to your attention. The $0, if you've seen that in Awk, that stands for the entire line. So this right here, that'd be the $0, that's the entire line. And $1, that's like the first field right there. And I'm using comma separated variables, so that second field will be null. And then the third field would be that one, our observation there. So I kind of wanted to bring that to your attention. Now, let me get over here to my, all right, and this is my, let me kind of clear this screen a little bit. Let me just show you, oops, ls. I've got a simple Ooops file, test file, and I've got a test a couple of tests. One, I duplicated a line, and then down here I duplicated a line, but I changed the last value. See right there, there's last values on that thing right there, on those observations right there. Everything else is the same. The keys are identical. Well, certainly here on the duplicated line, see right there, those keys are not unique. But if I'm testing for unique keys, I can't just test for a line. I need to test for my key, for my primary key that I'm going to merge on. So that's kind of what this is right here. Let me just kind of show you. If I do an Awk, let me cat that program for you. Find lines. Let me just kind of show you what I'm talking. If I use that $0, that's the entire line. And if I were to do the Awk find the lines for my test file. See, it only finds that. It only finds if the entire line is duplicated. So let me just kind of show you what it looks like with the keys. See, it finds that duplicated primary key that we had, and let me just kind of cat that. And so I added my field separator, and I'm using that $1 for for the primary key to see if it's duplicated, and that's where I print out so this right here is that's what I'm using to find the duplicates, if there are any duplicates. And it won't take me just a minute. Let's see. Let's do and see right here. These are my test files, 1 through 6, and I've got the ports per second test files 1 and 2. And it will just take a minute here to check all of those files. And those are like 40,000 observations. And I'll check all 6 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's check the ports per second. TPS test 1 and test 2. Now I kind of wanted to bring that to attention. Let me. Now you can add other tests in here. For you check for. And I think, let me get back to my notes. Yeah, you can check for the number of fields, the dates, date ranges, date formats, numbers and letters, and various domains. And that's one good thing about Awk that I do like. If you do want to add more data checks on that, it's not very hard to do. So that's my okay. That's the section 1. Find the duplicate key primary keys. Okay. Now for our next one, we need to write the program that merges those CSV files. And what we'll do is just read in the first file, and with the primary key is the index. Find the maximum number of columns in that first file, then read in our second file and check that primary key. if we have a common primary key, we just print out that first file and the values from that second file. Else we'll print out the null fields from the first file, and in the end we'll just check for the remaining elements in that first file. And then if we want to, we can sort that merged file. This is kind of what it's going to look like. We've got our merge program, test 1, test 2, and then we'll put the output in the 1, 2, and then if we want to, we can sort that into test 1, 2 if we wanted to. Let's see. I wonder what hold on just a second. I wonder what I was. I don't remember what I was thinking right here when I show merged file. But anyway, let's just show you that that program merge to all. That's what I'm talking about right here. Cat merge to. Oops. And this is that program that merges those. The Awk program that merges those files. So it doesn't have to be in sorted order, but with no duplicate keys, no duplicate primary keys. There's 3 cases. There's a primary key in file 1 only. There's a primary key in file 2 only, or there's a primary key in both 1 and 2. And we'll start the Awk program with comma separated. That's our for a field separator, and we'll see how many fields there are in that first file. We'll read in the first file. We'll use that epoch as our index for the lines in file 1. Then our second file. Oh, there! Look at this right here. Is might be Awk has some predefined variables, and this is the file number of records read, and this is the total number NR. And so when the file number of records equals the total number, we know we're in the first file. But after that, we know we're in the when the number of records is not equal, we know we're in the second file. So that's what that is. And this is the epoch. This is kind of the other thing that's kind of a little bit tricky in Awk. You can't use epoch. You can't use that that index to check to see if something exists, because you'll create it if you use it. You create it. So that's what that is. And so we'll just case 1. The primary key is in both file 1 and 2, and so we print out that line with the last value of file in the second file. Let me see now. Case 2, the primary key is in file 2 only, so we print out our primary key and put in our null commas, and then print out that last value there. And then at the very end, let me just, we're deleting, if there's a common key in both file 1 and 2, we delete that line right there. And then at the end, the only thing we have left then are the unique keys in file 1. And so we'll print those out. And then, now that comma there is for that, for the null value, and if there's a missing value there. So let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about. Awk. Then what we're so this is what I'm doing right here. Merging file 1, file 2, and then out. Let's see here now. Awk merge to. That's the program we just kind of wrote right there. And I'm going to start with my P-stats, my test 1 and test 2. P-stats, test 1, and P-stats, test 2, CSV. And I'm going to merge that, put the output into P-stats, test 1, 2, CSV. Oops, what did I do wrong here? I typed it in wrong right here. See right here. That's supposed to be a dash F right there for a file. That's what I did wrong. Let me do that one more time. Dash F. All right. So that's our merged file, and I think what I was wanting to do was just to show you that P-stats merged file. Yeah, so here's our, and I'm just printing out the head right there, our date, our test 1 column, test 2 column right here. Let me see now. Let me get back to my notes. So yeah, I just showed the merged file, and I believe, see right now, I think we can, now that we've got it merged, I believe I can, it'll show up on my graph. Yeah, there it is. See, test 1 and test 2. That's what I was wanting. Let me get over here. I wanted to get back to my notes. We normally think of, for indexing, we usually think of using numbers for array indexing, but Awk uses associative arrays, and you can have strings, you have numbers, dates, and Awk uses a hash function to compute those array indexes, and it really turns out that it's very useful in some cases to have a associative array. And so let's just kind of, I'm going to show you now. Now we got our Awk program working. Let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about. Now that we've got it working, we can just keep merging those files. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. See right there, there's our merged file right here. And wait a minute. Let me clear the screen right here and get this up here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going. This is our merged file, and so let's just merge it with 3, and the output is 3, and we can just keep going. 3, and merge it with 4, and just call that 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4. Merge it with 5, and call that 5. And 5. And merge that with 6. And call that 6. Oops, do something. Let me. That's got to be a 5 right there. Oops. I wrote over that. 5, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right, now I can sort those. Let me just sort have we got it sorted right here? I thought yeah, let me just show you what I'm talking about. It's got I want to sort those sort that into one big file right there, and it's sort numeric column 1 in our field separator, and it's going to be p-stats what test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dot CSV into merge dot CSV. All right, and now if I go back to my graph, I should be able to. I got my graph, my merge graph out here, and I should, when I refresh it, did I do that right? There we go. There's all 6 of the all 6 of our CSV files that I merged into one, and that's what I was wanting. I wanted to put all my CSV files into one so I can see. And you can see there's kind of these are the one GSP receiver, and this is another GSP receiver. I've got test 2 and test 5 are kind of the same receivers. Then I've got 1, 3, 4, and 6. There's another one, and that you can kind of see when they're graphed all together. Otherwise, see, look at this right here. I'm going to get back. See, they're individual plots. It's just kind of difficult to see that there's any kind of relationship right there. And there's there's that merge data. Now we'll do this. Let's do the same thing with our pulse per second. Let me get back over here. I think I've got. Let me make sure on my notes. I think that's what I want to show next. Yeah, that's Crony. That's what I want to show next. Yeah, it doesn't matter if the index is numeric or text or dates. I showed the graphs, and this is what we're going to do right here. We're going to merge those files again. So we're using that same Awk program that we wrote for numeric keys, and we're not going to be changing anything. So it's just merge. Let's see if I can get that back. Awk merge to see right there, and we'll just change this to. Let me just get back up just a little bit right here. Yeah, merge pulse per second. Pulse per second. And so here's my pulse per second, 1 and 2 right there, and that's what I'm doing. Pulse per second, and let's just change that to pulse per second, and we can sort that. So it's sort NK1 with T, comma, and then it's what PPS 1, 2 CSV into merge dot CSV, and there's our, and we should be able to. Let's see if we can refresh my merge graph. Yeah, there it is. See, there's my Adafruit PPS, and then there's that VFan PPS right there. And if you can, and what I like about the dygraphs, see, you can kind of zoom in. They're interactive. Now that kind of looks like what they show on Crony, on their in their documentation. That's kind of what they what a pulse per second kind of looks like. As far as I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm just kind of saying it kind of, that's in the right direction there is what I'm kind of trying to say. But anyway, let me get back to my notes right here. I think that's all I got. I think that's all I've got to show you the how to merge those CSV files with Awk. Yep, that's it. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Let's see if I can stop.